everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video we're going to be doing this Christmas bauble acrylic design that's finished off with some stamping, so I really hope you all enjoy watching. I wanted to do something that had a little bit more of a pretty girly vibe for a Christmas design, and this is what I ended up coming up with. So for today's acrylics, we are using the Diamond Nail Supplies system, and I have this beautiful green colour here from them. I think it's pronounced Matcha, but it's a really lovely soft green. And then we're going to be using this beautiful glitter from Charlie's Nail Art called Peppermint Frosting. I really like this one because it's that lighter green shade, and because it had those pink iridescent effects inside there, that was why I opted to do the pink stamping on the top. So let's jump into the design. I have already got my tip and thin clear base applied, so we're coming straight in with that gorgeous green acrylic. As you can see, I've placed a small to medium sized bead down at the cuticle area. I'm using the very tip of my brush to get that as neat as possible up in that cuticle area, and then I'm just gently pulling that colour down the nail. I want to leave a lot of it where I've placed it because I want to be able to build up that colour a little bit. I want to make sure that it's going to be fully covering the nail bed area. So I'm only gently fading it down the nail because I'm then going to come in with another bead of acrylic just to bring that colour a little bit further down the nail. So I'm blending that in to the previous bead of acrylic, and then again using really gentle, light, feathery strokes with my brush, I'm bringing that a little bit further down the nail. Then it's going to fade out into kind of like a clear tip, so I'm just cleaning up the tip end of the nail a little bit, just using some monomer on my wet brush, just because I didn't want to bring this colour too far down the nail. And then I'm going to blend back just to make sure everything's nice and neat, trying to make sure that my application is as smooth and as even as possible. Then I'm going to take a teeny tiny bead of clear acrylic and dip into that Peppermint Frosting glitter mix, and then we're going to apply that down onto the nail. So here you can see I've picked up that glitter and I've placed it down onto the nail. I'm working it in to that clear bead of acrylic that we picked it up with, and then I'm keeping my brush full of monomer. If your brush is full of monomer and quite wet, you don't want it like dripping wet, but wet enough that you're able to nudge those glitter pieces around easily. And then what I want to do is I want this glitter to fade down over the green acrylic and then up into that clear tip. And then all I'm doing here is I'm using my wet brush, just the tip of it, and I'm nudging those glitter pieces around. I might go in and out of my glitter mix, just picking up certain colors. If I want a little bit more of the darker green shade, I'm just going to pick those up. If I want a few of the more smaller particles down at the glitter tip, I'm just picking those up with my wet brush. Because that tacky acrylic and glitter mix underneath is still wet, you're going to be able to just stick any individual glitter pieces in without adding any additional acrylic. This is going to help you end up with a more thinner structure to the nail. You're not going to be adding any unnecessary bulk. Then once I had allowed that glitter and acrylic mix to set into place, we're going to come in and encapsulate. And to encapsulate, I'm using the Diamond Nail Supplies Clarity Clear Acrylic. So I've picked up my first bead of acrylic, I've placed this down towards more the end, the tip of the nail, and then I'm just encapsulating the very tip of the nail with this bead of acrylic. This is quite a long nail, so I knew that I would be more comfortable doing it in a couple of beads rather than trying to get it done in one or two. So because I haven't applied much product at the tip of the nail, I encapsulated that first, as that is the finished part of the nail at the moment. Then I'm going to come in with my next bead of acrylic and work my way up the nail. Wherever I'm placing these beads of acrylic down, I'm leaving the bulk of them there and I'm just blending them slightly down the nail because you're wanting to build up your strength and structure of the nail. So you'll see here I'm placing this bead down in the apex area, blending it slightly into the cuticle area, and then just gently feathering down the top and the sides of the bead. And then this point of the design, or the nail encapsulation, lost my train of thought there. I'm just checking over all the angles of the nail and making sure that I'm happy with the strength and structure. I did feel as though it looked a little thin in this area and running down the center of the nail, so just come in with another small bead just to even that out a little bit. We're working on a practice hand here, so strength and structure isn't too important, but I do like to practice. Then off camera, I filed and buffed this, made sure to clean away all the dust so that we can add some stamping on the top. For the stamping, I'm going to be using the Christmas plate from Simply Polished, and I want to add on a couple of these cute little baubles. So as you see here, I'm going to add them on in pink stamping polish. Now these images aren't going to pop too much over the design, but I wanted this to look quite subtle anyway. If you wanted this to pop a little bit more, I'd maybe do the stamping in either a gold or a darker color, maybe like a darker green, or even like a hot pink could work as well. But I wanted this to look quite subtle, so that's why I went for the softer pink shade. So before doing any stamping, you want to make sure to give your plate a good clean with some acetone. So I'm going to do that here to remove the previous stamping polish that we applied. Then I'm going to take my stamping polish and I'm going to apply a generous amount of it to the image. You can either cover half or whole of the image, just make sure you've got enough on there. Then I'm going to scrape, and then just with a quick flick of the wrist, I'm going to pick up my image. Here I am using this Simply Polished stamper as well. I'm really loving this. I recently did a haul with the stamper and a couple of stamping plates from Simply Polished, so I'll leave that linked in either the cards or the end screen if you guys want to check that out. And then when it comes to stamping down the image, I'm just going to look through my stamper, line it up where I want it to be, quick wriggle from side to side, and as you can see, it's stamped down beautifully. So let's do that one more time. So we're working on a nice clean plate. I always like to clean my plates with acetone. One scrape, as you can see, sufficiently removed all of that excess polish, but if you did apply too much, then you might find that you need to do 1 or 2 more scrapes. I like to use a lint roller just to clean off any of that excess image that I don't want to stamp down on the nail. And then looking through, I'm going to line this up right on the tip of the nail. I like to wriggle from side to side, as I feel this way I've got confidence in how well that's stamped down. And then that's the stamping finished in this design, so we're ready to come in and top coat. I had my Kiki London No Wipe rubber top coat to hand, so this is the one that I opted to use today. I don't tend to feel it's necessary to add a rubber top coat over the top of acrylic nails because they're already providing quite a lot of strength to the nail anyway, but I really love this top coat, so a lot of the time it's on my desk left out from a set that I've done previously, so I opted to use this one. It's got a beautiful high shine to it, but because it is a rubber top coat, it is slightly thicker. Because I've done a clear tip, I am going to come in and top coat underneath, and then we're going to pop this in to cure in the LED lamp for 60 seconds. And this, guys, is the finished result. So it's a bit of a more cuter Christmas design, but I really liked how it turned out. I hope you guys all enjoyed watching. I'm so sorry I haven't had many videos up, but it has just been a mental, unprepared couple of weeks the last few weeks. Hopefully things even out a little bit in the upcoming days. But if I don't talk to you all before Christmas, which I hope I do, but if I don't, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you all so much for watching my video. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.